I'm Malcolm Van Delston. This is an excerpt from Do the Wrong Thing, a book series or extra long novel that opens with a woman trying to kill herself. She says, "I don't know why I tried to do this," and by way of explanation tells her life story. We are in book 2. Previously in Do the Wrong Thing, Ava is mortified when a guy she asked out shows up modeling for her art class. Philippe agrees to put her word art up in his store, and Ava and Philippe have sex. I'm trying out a new title, a new chapter title for what Matthew said last week. Be your own role model. If you have thoughts on that versus just role model, let me know. Okay. I attack the canvas with my charcoals and pastels. Each time from a mess of lines, a figure emerges, three-dimensional with shadows and depth. Michael invited me to the Trent School of Art to sit in on his Wednesday class. He even picked me up at my apartment. The sexual between us, or from him, gone. He either realized I wasn't interested or found someone else. Right now, I'm standing at an easel in a sunny second-floor studio in the old munitions factory with the paddle wheel beside it. Scuffed hardwood spattered with paint, walls of multi-pane windows broken up by 5-foot columns of white painted brick, industrial light fixtures hanging from the rafters. The model is currently on a break, smoking by a staircase. "Why don't you draw like this in Birmingham?" Michael asks. Because in Birmingham, I'm in a drop-ceilinged basement with fluorescent lights and a bunch of non-smiling girls who look like they're on their way to accounting jobs. I don't say this out loud. I shrug. Michael inspects my canvas. The corners of my lips flicker up briefly when he looks at me, then fall. Similarly, his smile warms. Then he nods curtly and calls the model back to her place. It's like a racer head with a lot less angst and more room. After paying the entry fee, Gerald, Carolyn, Bill, and I walk down a black, dimly lit corridor and round a corner into a huge space, all built out of plywood and 2x4s, half painted black and half left unpainted, with no rhyme or reason. Bar against a back wall, disco lights on a wall-less room, 2x4s framing where the walls should be, dark, alienating music. New wave, but not the happy kind, thank God. It's a Monday, so there aren't many people here, but the ones that are wear black. So courageous. Leather pants, leather motorcycle jackets, even leather caps. Leather. I gawk in awe. I look at Carolyn, who smiles her usual timid grin before motioning towards the bar. Gerald is already on the dance floor, just him and one other person. High up on his toes, nodding his head to the rhythm, cigarette burning in his right hand. He's got courage too. Fortified with beer, Carolyn, Bill, and I make our way up a sketch of a staircase. 4x4s for steps, 2x4s and beams for bracing, nails. I've never really thought about how buildings are constructed, but here, the skeleton is on view. Upstairs, there's another bar, another dance room, and a massive lounge walled off with a door, populated with construction spools painted black for tables and milk crates for seats. It's quieter, though the second floor's more frenetic music bleeds through, a sort of heavy metal with dance beats. Carolyn and I sit in the lounge. Bill heads back out. Gerald and I were outside the Repertoire Theater, having a smoke break between the double bill of Repo Man and Warriors. "Hi!" yelled Carolyn as Bill drove by. He braked and reversed until he was in front of us. "Want to go to Westchester?" Bill smiled across Carolyn's lap. "We're on our way to the Drift," Carolyn yelled, even though we were less than 5 feet away. She was already drunk. "A punk bar, come on." Gerald and I looked at each other, stubbed out our smokes, and got in. In Westchester, on the other side of the lake to Birmingham, 5-foot snowbanks line the street and fat flakes waft down. Apparently, the lake doubles the amount of snow the city gets compared to Birmingham. We passed a small red neon sign, the Drift, and Bill pulled into a parking lot. The streets were empty. The area seemed abandoned. Like a film you can walk through, immersive alienation, though you're also able to express it in clothes and through dancing. I could be Eraserhead's lady in the Radiator without embodying her, if that makes any sense. I can expel my angst, maybe, but it's too much. I gawk and gawk. My soul stands naked with other naked souls, but I'm blinded by this dark light. Sucking and moving it around in my mouth, trying to be loving, attentive, all that. "Thanks," Philip says when I stop. "That was good." He rolls away from me. I move up and hug him from behind. It's not that I care. I'm surprised, is all. I thought man always wanted to fuck. And Philippe is supposed to be a player, one of those guys who uses women. I must have sucked his dick for at least a half an hour. Or was it only 15 minutes? Time gets weird when you're high, but still, 15 minutes is plenty. I feel victorious. I don't care. I don't care if Philip can't get it up. I mean, beyond wanting to have an orgasm. I'm not looking for warmth or approval. This is victory. I turn over and stare at the notches in the lacquered teak table leg, not sexual conquest notches from Philippe, notches by the carver, decoration. Philippe needs me to need him. Does he require that from all of his girlfriends, even if he doesn't give the same back? I guess so. Triumph. I'm the one that doesn't need the other. The Easter service is packed. I pick up a gold foolscap that maps out the mass. No, ceremony. I haven't been to church in almost a year. It's a ceremony now. A mass is a thing with roots into a person's soul, but a ceremony is something they can observe, detached. The priest holds, shit. He's splashing holy water as he comes up the aisle. What if it hits me? It'll go, and a puff of steam will escape upwards as if I'm the devil. Wait, what is wrong with me? What a ridiculous thing to think. Nonetheless, I dodge behind the person next to me when the priest passes and avoid getting hit. I stay for the whole mass. I don't take communion. I can't eat Jesus' flesh. It's supposed to really be him after the priest bless the wafers. Little flops of his skin, I suppose. Disgusting. Why did I never think of that before? Eve eating the apple has nothing on this. Afterwards, outside, I breathe in cold, crisp air. Birmingham River cascades past the cathedral to the right, full, fast, and furious. A bridge over it carries traffic from the west, where Birmingham U is, to the core of the city. I descend the church's steps, smelling dead plants and mud. Geosmin. Don't you want to go to Shadow's welcome home party? Ivan laughs. Ivan and I still call each other once in a while. I can't believe it. First, a petition to get Shadow out of jail, even after he raped 6 women, and now a party for his release. February 20th, 2017, 10:12 p.m. Well, that's weird. Suddenly, Philippe disappears from my outline and Ron steps in. No mention of school, Gerald, Carolyn, my family. No mention of art or drawing. I saw Gerald and Carolyn now and again, but Gerald was a party guy, gay, if you haven't guessed, and Carolyn, I hate to say it, alcoholic. Bill, also alcoholic. My family. I must have gone home for Christmas in 1984, but I have no memory of it. My sister, Sandra, seemed to be doing fine, living with her handsome, witty boyfriend, studying commercial art at college, a major department store already offering her a full-time job after her work placement there. She wasn't doing fine, I'd find out many years later. I know nothing of what Stephen, 11 at this point, and Christian, 8, were doing, nor what Stanley and Michael were up to. I spoke to my mom on the phone last week. Several times in the past years, she's talked about her own approaching death. She's 83, while her mother, my grandmother, died at 82, so it's on her mind. As I've said, sharing anything I care about with my mother results in criticism honed by the experience and power one human being gets over another by birthing and raising them. I rationalized. She can't stop herself. Her own opinion of herself is so low. Of course, she sees her mini-me, the daughter who looks and acts like her, in the same way she sees herself and feels compelled to protect that daughter from overestimating herself. Something like that. My mother, an ace sharpshooter when it comes to my censure. She used to cripple me for days, so I don't share anything important anymore to save the time for myself. So she's thinking of her own impending death, but only she can talk about it, I learned. I expressed concern for her and she reacted by replying defensively that I could die soon too. Sigh. I'm not sure how this protects me from overestimating myself. So then I wonder if she's got Munchhaesen Syndrome by proxy, She's attempting to break me down, keep me weak so that she can love me or be loved by me, something like that. I mean, I don't tell her anything about my life, yet she still finds a weakness. Well, this sure hurts. The eyes sting, but the tears I now control. I'm not the weepy mess I once was.